Buddothpado. When we say that someone has arrived at the state of Sotapanna or stream entry, it means that you have realized that the outside world does not exist. They have realized that the world outside is only a thought. This state of wisdom is called Sotapanna. Sotapanna Bhumiya. Then Anusota means you accept the world outside as the reality. And this state of mind is called Pruthakjana Bhumiya. Conversational or ignorant. When you have realized that the outside is not the truth and that you are at a level of wisdom of Sotapanna, it means that you are on the right path. Now we will see what one has to do when one has already developed the wisdom to a state of an anagami, never return or no future birth. That's anagami means. We mentioned earlier in this discussion that if there isn't a book, then I don't exist. The one with the wisdom of an anagami looks at the world without an I concept in what he sees. He looks at the world with an emptiness. He does not give any value to any of the thoughts. If he sees a thing, he knows that it is only a sound and a color. If the stimulus is a book, and if it becomes real to you, then you are there. Then there is you. The observer. The Buddha said, Etam mama, eso hamasmi, ameso atta. It means, I who sees it. The one with the wisdom of anagami looks at the book without giving any value to it. As he knows that it is an illusion, then there is no I concept in it. It is only an awareness. It is the deepest point to wisdom, point of wisdom. If you feel that the table, the book, the bed, all these exist to you, that itself is the I concept. Your feeling of being alive, the feeling of being alive is your mind, consciousness. I a thought. The table is a book thought. The book is a thought. The bed is a thought. The thought arises and ceases of at every moment. The thought is born and it does off immediately. Our body does not die. It is the thought or mind that dies. When we stop breathing, that means the mind has stopped igniting spark. The mind has stopped generating thoughts. That is when our body is buried in the ground. Please think about this. In this moment, when we think of me or I, isn't it only a thought? If I cut off my finger, have I really cut off a finger of mine? The cutting of a finger is only a thought. Now, if I amputate my leg, it is only a thought that I amputated my leg, then I amputate my other leg again. The knowing that I cut off both my legs is only another thought. Then I cut off both my arms. It is only a thought that makes me think that I cut off both my arms. We think that this body is mine. Then you know that we think that this is me. Then when you think that this is me, then you are only a thought. Now, is a thought a living thing? A thought is not a living thing. We think that we have a child. Can a child physically be in a thought? No, it is only a thought. Nothing is there in a thought. We think that we have a husband. We think that we have a house. Then all of these are thoughts, aren't they? Yes, all of these are thoughts. The book is a thought. This body which we think is mine is also a thought. When we don't believe in the book we see, then I cannot exist. When we don't believe in everything we see, then I cannot exist. Now, where am I? I am is only a concept. It is a false belief. This false belief is called drushtya, mithya drushtya. Sakaditi means the false belief that you exist, the illusion of self. The Buddha said that at one time the sun will increase in heat and turn the earth to ashes. Then only the empty universal space will remain. He also said, when the clarified butter burns, it completely burns out without leaving any trace of ash or shoot. Like fish, all what we think does not exist anywhere. Everything is a lie. What is left is only the empty universal space, nothingness. The Buddha said, Nisato Nijivo Sunyo. There is no living being, nothing is living or alive. There is nothing. Animitta Sunyata Apranita. There is no thing, there is nothing, there is no happiness or sorrow. That's the meaning. Buddha said. You cannot imagine, can you? There is no point living for us without listening to the Dhamma or teaching of the Buddha. All this time, we all have lived in a lie of thoughts, believing that everything is true and they exist. We have held on to thoughts, things don't exist, thoughts don't exist. There is no duality. There isn't an inside which we thought as me, and there is no outside world. Chakung nichang nichato chakung nichang wa nichang. Buddha asking this. Anicham bante, monks are answering it. In this sermon, when the Buddha says asha, asa, singular word is as the eye. The Buddha does not mean the physical eye of soft, trust and false. The Buddhas call the sense of seeing as eye. Seeing a book, seeing a bed, seeing a table. In the above sensor, the Buddha asks, Mahaneni, is the sense of seeing permanent? No. Answer is no. It is not permanent, Swami. It is impermanent. Buddha asking again, Mahanani is seeing a happiness or a sorrow. The disciples replied, the monks also replied, it is a suffering, Swami. Buddha asking again, Mahanani, if sin is impermanent and if it is a suffering, isn't sin the same as what you see as a book, table, a bed? Isn't the sense of seeing only a thought? If you see a book, that is the forming of the eye. The seeing, if seeing is only a thought, then can there be a book in a thought? There is nothing in a thought. There is why. That is why the Buddha said that sin is not permanent. What you think does not exist anywhere, the Buddha said, if the sin is not permanent and does not exist, can we say that there is a life in it? Can you say it is living and it is a real thing? The monks are replying this question. No, Hetam Bante. No, Hetam Bante. No, Swamini. We cannot assign a life to what we see there. We found that there is no life form in us. There is no life in thoughts. Thoughts are all lies. At the end, everything is non-existent. Therefore, the teaching of the Buddhas is called Sunyata Patisanyutta Desana, or the teaching of non-existence. The Buddha teaches the world something that no other has never ever mentioned. Ye Dhamma hetu phabava tesang hetun tathagato. Buddha said that. Buddha teach, the Buddha teach us about hetu phala dhamma. It is also known as cause and effect. The Buddha does not teach about karma as the cause for rebirth. The Buddha said, finally, monks, if we say that a cycle of cause and effect exists, it is incorrect. And if we say that a cycle of cause and effect does not exist, that too is incorrect, because if a world does not exist, what is there to compare thing with? You are fortunate to hear this pure truth even for one day. May you realize the pure truth, and may you come out of suffering. Teruvan Saranai.